So I recently went on a road trip with my girlfriend. Yes, I have one. And while we were going through Pennsylvania, she spots a billboard out the window for Cannabis College of America. And out of curiosity, she looked it up, and I just wanted to walk you through what a rabbit hole this turned out to be. So they have their website, cannabiscollegeofamerica.com. First thing you see, big old disclaimer. Notice to our students and future enrollees.
At the Cannabis College of America, our mission is to provide students with the highest quality education in cannabis, finding science, research, and real-world, hands-on experience. We are currently in the process of obtaining official state accreditation and licensing to ensure our programs meet the highest educational standards. During this time, new student enrollment will be temporarily paused. We're committed to transparency and excellence and will reopen enrollment as soon as our state approval is finalized. We appreciate your patience and continued support as we take this important step towards shaping the future of cannabis education.
We are not accepting students, not offering classes, and not conducting any instruction at this time. This website is for informational purposes only. Larry does offer free seminars on growing this plant.
Larry?
So yeah, obviously, like, who's Larry? They have a link here to the address that it's supposed to be at, and if you open it up, it's not there. About the Cannabis College of America. Our mission is to establish a genuine educational institute dedicated to producing the finest product possible. My student. With the curriculum that I've developed for our cannabis cultivation school, you'll be able to grow a superior and healthier product than you can buy at any dispensary in the country, right at your own home. At this point, I'd like to point out, recreational cannabis is not legal in Pennsylvania, where this is supposed to be based out of. Maybe they were expecting that it would be shortly, I don't know. Further down the page, we have a list of hemp quotes. As far as I can tell, Henry Ford, John Adams seem to be real. Thomas Jefferson, I can't find a good source on. And George Washington is just a misquote. He said something about sowing hemp, but not this. Founder and Educational Director, Larry Nagel, aka the Bush Doctor, aka Dr. Dank. And this is the picture that we have of him. Larry Nagel has dedicated his life to the advocacy and activism of cannabis, becoming a significant figure in the industry through his extensive research and cultivation efforts. With a passion that spans decades... Hang on a second, let me just look something up here. In 2012, Washington and Colorado became the first states to legalize cannabis for recreational use. So what has he been doing for those decades? He is an adrenaline junkie, motorcycle racer, and powerlifter who suffers from severe nerve pain caused by spinal stenosis. Why would you? He used medical marijuana to overcome a 20-plus year-long opioid addiction to prescribed pharmaceuticals. Well, good for him. Larry Nagel's commitment to cannabis advocacy is unwavering. Through his tireless efforts, he continues to share his wealth of knowledge, fostering a community of like-minded individuals who are passionate about cannabis. This overview, it feels like the kind of thing that you write when you're making the most out of a small handful of qualifications. But like, whatever, it's a passion project, sure. I believe that this Larry Nagel guy probably has a good idea of what he's doing. And then there's this guy, Scott Burgett, lead instructor and co-founder of Green Earth Cannaceuticals. Scott began his career in medicine, earning his credentials as a registered cardiovascular invasive specialist after studying at the University of Florida College of Pharmacy and Central Florida Institute. He was hired as the director of cultivation by the Green Solution Florida, one of the first Florida MMJ license holders. Within 9 months, he built it into the largest cannabis grower in Florida, with over 15,000 plants in perpetual harvest. While with TGS, he became certified in CO2 extraction and helped design and build their extraction and processing lab. It's just interesting to me that between Scott and Larry, Scott is the one being mentioned second. Because I feel like his qualifications are a lot more impressive. Okay, we have a photo and video gallery. And yep, these sure are photos of cannabis plants, I think. Okay, we have some videos. Let's take a look at what we've got here. What? Yeah, so this is like, as far as I can tell, this is like an AI generated zoom in onto Larry based on possibly the same photo from earlier, but it looks a little bit different. Why did they do this? Okay, we've got some other video clips. Let's take a look at this one.
Just stick with movies, that way I don't have to get too stable. Well on its way to being something extremely special. A lot of work here, man. A lot of work, right?
Oh, man.
Shows, brother.
Amazing. If you click on the last pic of the series and look closely, you'll see that these are cuttings/clones taken from the lower portion of plants already in late season full bloom. I can even teach you how to force these cuttings back into vegetative growth with minimal stress, creating thriving young genetically identical offspring to their mothers. Most growers will tell you that's not even possible. Now this Larry Nagel guy, he has done an unprecedented amount of experimentation and research in the last 50 plus years. Or at least he believes that that is the case. So my girlfriend is still using Google. She looked up Larry Nagel. The first thing you get is a completely unrelated guy, Larry Nagel of the World Floor Covering Association. Looks like he's got some good qualifications in floor coverings. He was also awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award by the FCIF. That's the Floor Covering Industry Foundation. So like apparently the floor covering industry has their own charity dedicated to helping fund healthcare for the floor covering industry. They have this stories section on their website. Apparently, every single person here faced the unimaginable, except for Amy Rushimber, apparently. We can listen to their story. What do we got?
Hello. Could you imagine having diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and not being able to work no more? And also falling and breaking your hip?
No, Johnny. It's unimaginable. Okay, no, like, I don't want to make fun. I'm happy that Johnny got the care that he needed. I'm happy that these floor covering professionals apparently have a charity. And, like, I've looked into it a bit. It seems like they're just genuinely doing good work here. Not an endorsement, but I have nothing negative to say here. And all of that has nothing to do with what's to come, because I just wanted to take that little positive detour before we move on to what's next. So looking up Larry Nagel, one of the next results is from justice.gov. Leader of North Shore drug trafficking organization sentenced to 19 years in prison. This is talking about a Lawrence Michael Nagel Jr., who is 35. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure this guy was not 35 a year ago. So this is not the same Larry Nagel as the one running the Cannabis College of America, but seeing this come up did make me a little suspicious. So I did a lookup on the domain registration, and it has all of these statuses applied to it. Client delete prohibited, client renew prohibited, client transfer prohibited, client update prohibited. All of these statuses basically mean that For one reason or another, GoDaddy has totally locked their website down. They don't get to touch it. Which is usually done if there has been some sort of abuse of the domain or if there's an active investigation or something. I kept digging a little more. I found a related Justice.gov article. Lin Man pleads guilty to counterfeit pill trafficking conspiracy. A Lin Man pleaded guilty today in federal court in Boston to participating in a North Shore-based drug trafficking organization that allegedly distributed tens of thousands of counterfeit prescription pills containing fentanyl and Lawrence M. Nagel Sr., 56, pleaded guilty to 1 count each of conspiring to distribute and to possess with intent to distribute controlled substances. As part of the conspiracy, Nagel Sr. stored various controlled substances, including counterfeit oxycodone pills containing and counterfeit containing. As far as I can tell, the Lawrence Michael Nagel Jr., who was sentenced in March of this year, is the son, or at least a close relative, of Lawrence Michael Nagel Sr., who is Dr. Dank, aka the Bush Doctor. I was able to confirm that it was the same Larry Nagel because they have an Instagram account. And 86 weeks ago, they posted, "We are deeply saddened to share that Larry Nagel, aka Dr. Dank, has been unjustly sentenced to jail for a crime he did not commit. This is a wrongful conviction and we stand firmly by his side as he fights for justice." Also, remember how the website had a calendar? Well, interestingly, the calendar doesn't just show the future events, it also goes very far into the past. So we can follow this all the way back to see where the latest activity was. In April, it looks like they were offering some kind of seminar or event or something. Thank you for scheduling your Verizon Solution meeting. Awesome. And then throughout May, pretty typical looking schedule, I guess they were doing classes. And then you get up to June, and it stops, and then on June 25th, there's this event for Cannabis College of America, Creative, Add to Existing. The description is just, "I will be giving you a call, Larry." Smiley face. And then after that, there's these events. They continue up through September. And then after that, nothing. It's just empty to the present day and in the foreseeable future. Incredibly, this has been archived by the Wayback Machine several times. There's a huge spike of archiving around April of 2025 and September of 2025. Gee, I wonder if anything significant happened around those times where it would be perhaps important to preserve the webpage for some reason? Larry Nagel, the man, the myth, the legend. The Cannabis College of America was founded on February 21st, 2018. 7 days after my arrest for cultivation and distribution of cannabis in Florida. I just don't understand why you would want... Our first seminar took place on the very first day it was announced that COVID-19 had broken out in the US. Tell me, after reading this, are you excited to take a class from this guy on cannabis cultivation? Now look, I don't really have a conclusion here. I'm not even going to pretend like there's a story that I'm telling. But this was just such an interesting rabbit hole to just fall into out of nowhere. I had to share it.